This audio fiction may contain elements not suitable for children. Listener discretion is advised.
This story begins on the ethereal plane, where the deities and similar beings reside. On the ethereal plane, Mikael, the god of the forge, is in his workshop, forging items from metals. This creates a commotion, which intrigues the other deities in the immediate area.
Oh, Avani. To what do I owe this pleasure?
I came to see what the commotion was.
Oh, well, I am working on a new project.
And by that you mean more imitation life forms?
Mikael frowns.
And just what do you mean by that?
You have been known to create things that mimic living, breathing things that occur in nature.
Are you saying that they are unnatural, if they are made from not but natural material?
If they were natural, they would occur in nature instead of you forging them here.
Mikael shakes his head, disbelieving.
There is nothing unnatural about using one's natural gifts to forge new things from natural materials.
Do you make these abominations simply to vex me?
Abominations?
Yes! You know how I feel about these. You have known for ages now. These are abominations, imitations of a real thing.
They are not abominations. They are masterworks of craftsmanship.
They are still imitations.
They are nothing of the sort.
They are refined and not naturally occurring. They merely imitate life with their existence.
They are nonetheless living creatures. Nothing about them is unnatural, but that you only had an indirect hand in their creation.
Why must you insist on mocking my domain and me?
Why must you insist that my creations are a mockery?
Because they are!
They are not! I am leaving. I need a moment away from your disrespect for my craft.
Mikael shakes his head, disbelieving.
Why must he be so stubborn and argumentative and intrusive on my domain?
Mera appears near Avani, then looks around, confused.
Avani? Where's Mikael? He requested I come to see him.
Oh, Mera. He teleported away a moment ago.
Mera frowns.
And just what led to him doing that?
On the mortal plane, several deities have taken an interest in a mortal child, a newborn. Since the deities of Ullord often prefer to watch instead of interfering, Presiding, the god of deception, has taken it upon himself to ask the other deities if they would consider the child worthy of being consecrated. Given that consecrated mortals are mortals that bear the mark and abilities of divine beings that favor them, many deities have trepidation about favoring mortals. As Presiding is wont to do, he takes it upon himself to persuade the other deities into action.
Oh, you two are going to love this one. His mother is heiress to this land, and she is the next to lead it, followed by her own children. His father is one of the few clerics who preaches of all of us gods.
So this is why you personally wanted to favor this child? Because of his parents?
Presiding shrugs.
I like rewarding faith and effort.
That does sound like as good a reason as any, to me.
And why might I feel this child to be worthy of me?
Because he can alleviate fears as a leader. He can help others in that way. And being favored by you can make him into a courageous warrior.
That does make him an interesting case. And an interesting mortal.
Presiding approaches the sleeping newborn. He gently touches the child's cheek.
And now he bears my favor.
Preeti likewise approaches and touches the child's cheek.
And now mine.
Barbas reaches down and touches the child's cheek.
And now the child is consecrated.
Mikael arrives and surveys the scene. Mikael, in a huff from his heated argument with the nature goddess, chooses to appear among the other deities on the mortal plane. He is unaware of what they are doing, and seeks their company first and foremost.
What are the three of you doing?
Pretty glances at Mikael.
Premod told us of this child with quite some potential, and we thought we would see what Premod was speaking of.
Creating a consecrated.
What brings you to the mortal plane?
Avani being disrespectful towards my domain once again.
Were you crafting more of those automatons?
I was. And I fail to see what that has to do with anything.
Only that we have all heard both of your arguments before, and thus we tend to stay out of it.
Yes, that.
But why is it only my domain that she takes such offense to?
What part of "we stay out of it" did you not understand?
None of us really cross into anybody else's domain so much.
Yes, we try not to do that. But otherwise, we stay out of it.
Fine. Tell me more of this child you've all blessed, then.
His mother will inherit this land, and he from her. And his father preaches the words and followings of all the gods. And I feel a consecrated leader would be interesting to watch. Pretty and Barbas agreed.
I see.
Mikael approaches the child and places his hand on the mortal's cheek. Pretty pales.
Mikael, sweetie, why did you just do that?
4 of us favoring him now.
All right. Now this child will be incredibly interesting to watch.
He certainly shall be.
Mara, the goddess of life and death, and Avani, the nature goddess, have been discussing what had happened between Avani and Mikael.
His abominations again. Me telling him once again to stop trampling on my domain.
You do know that he will continue his little projects in spite of you getting upset at him, yes?
You don't see me instigating conflicts that escalate into wars, creating trees that grow armor and weapons, or making fire into something that sprouts from the ground.
The difference is that none of those things would fall under your purview. Bar the fire sprouting from the earth, you have heard of volcanoes, yes?
I'm still certain Mikael is the one who put fire there.
Regardless, you had no qualms when you was mimicking the shells of animals to make armor, their fangs and claws to make weapons. Why now?
Ugh. Because now it's creepy. And weird.
And what is so creepy and weird about it?
They're fake animals. At this rate, it will be at fake humans and elves in less than a century.
I say let him have his fun, personally.
Why don't you have a problem with this? You're the goddess of life and death.
Artificial life is still life. However it is brought into being, it is still one of my children.
So, soon necromancers will not offend your domain?
Mara glares.
There is a drastic difference between artificial life and undeath.
They are both imitations. Shells of a real thing.
Giving life from nothing is not a shell, whether these automatons or a birth.
Those were some of the inhabitants of Ullord's pantheon. They're capricious, don't get along, often don't agree, and they're the oligarchy of divine beings that decide the fate of the inhabitants of Ullord.